And welcome back to SP Channel, guys. Tonight we are joined by Lady Whiteheart, and we're going to have a very scientific discussion about ESP, extrasensory perception. Paranormal defines as anything that cannot be given a scientific explanation. You know, in the past, FBI agents, police detectives who have ran out of leads for their cases have actually paid money to hire psychics to come in and help them solve their case, to varying degrees of success, mind you. Over the years, many highly influential political figures have indeed employed people with extrasensory perception. Nancy Reagan, for one, she was one of our first ladies. She was married to Ronald Reagan, a great president that we once had. She was very known for getting on the phone, and she would call these psychics to make a lot of decisions for her. It was known that Hitler, I hate to bring him up as a topic, but Hitler was very into astrology, and he had a very deep belief that extrasensory perception could very well be a thing. Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about the possibility and the scientific study of extrasensory perception, and we have Lady Whiteheart with us. Hi, Lady Whiteheart. What's up?
Not a whole lot this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, about extrasensory perception, that is, we have, as we know, we have the five senses, but more recently, science has cued us in that we have many more than five senses. There's a name for the sense that people use to recognize facial features. We have something like 271 senses that science has already given a label to, and extrasensory perception is just another one of those labels for unspecified abilities that people may have. As time goes by, we've seen a lot of cases. We've heard a lot of reports of people that do seem to possess extraordinary gifts. Have you ever encountered anyone like this, Liz?
Your inquiry as to whether or not I have come across those that have various gifts, yes, I have. Some have the ability to feel or sense things. Some people have the ability to actually hear those that are not on the physical realms.
Now, there's a word that I hear very often brought up in conversations revolving people with extrasensory perception, and that key word is remote viewing. Is this kind of like what you're referring to?
No, remote viewing is different, because with remote viewing, you tend to be physically in one area, but you're able to see what's going on hundreds of feet away. It can be thousands of miles away. You never really know. It all depends on the area that the person is trying to look at. Some people may actually reach for someone to have that person check on someone to see, A, if they're okay, B, if they're cheating. There's any number of things that they may be checking on for this person. And it's supposed to be by themselves, if they are actually by themselves, if they're with someone else, if they are intimately involved, or just in a more platonic situation.
Okay, so what is extrasensory perception? What is it limited to? Does it have limits? What is a more clear definition of what extrasensory perception could pertain to per individual?
That's a difficult question to answer. Extrasensory perception can cover a wide range of things. It can be someone that's able to see ghosts. It can be someone that is able to hear somebody that has passed on. It can be something as simple as having someone around you that has passed away, but feeling their presence and knowing that they're there. And that can be triggered by scent. It can be triggered by any number of things. An example is some people will pick up on a specific scent of cigar or tobacco smoke. Some people will pick up on specific scents of different flowers. And these are things that revolve specifically around the people that they are feeling or sensing around them.
I've heard scientifically that smell is a sense that we humans have that is most often linked to memory. It doesn't surprise me at all that certain scents would trigger and even provoke certain emotional responses. A scent probably could be a very powerful motivation for a person. I've heard a lot of talk about a possible parallel universe that people that are highly keenly gifted in extrasensory perception may or may not be able to visit, called the astral plane. Do you know anything of this?
Well, with the astral plane, some people are able to connect to it. Some people have vivid memories of it. Some people don't. That is something that will vary person to person depending on the gifts that they have. Some people can vividly see everything that's going on around them on the astral plane. Some people can hear, some people can feel, some people have a combination of senses that are all connected and linked to the astral.
As you know, before I bring a topic to public, I usually do my research. I've did a great deal of reading on the subject of the astral plane and what people's thoughts and feelings were, how to access it. Various forms of meditation are involved in connecting to the astral plane. It can be, but is not limited to, pleasant emotions. Just as long as you can strongly link yourself to an emotion and focus on that emotion fervently enough, you can achieve astral plane connection, so these sources claim. What I've read about the astral plane seems to lead me to believe that the astral plane can be a completely different thing from perception to perception, from individual to individual. Is the astral plane a mental playground? Is it a construct of a person's will?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a playground.
Here's another question that I have. Within the field of extrasensory perception, I've also heard of many things. For instance, there's divination, there's tarot readings, and I realize that this is swaying into, a more or less paranormal topic, but I would like to mention to the listener, I do want to explain this very scientific point to you. Paranormal defines as anything that cannot be given a scientific explanation. That is the very definition of paranormal. Therefore, science itself is on a never-ending quest to understand those things that it does not have an answer for. In essence, science is all about the paranormal if you really think about it. Science does not contradict the paranormal. It seeks to understand the paranormal, and that is by literal textbook definition. I feel there's a lot that science has yet to explain, and until science has those answers, it is definitely paranormal. I believe that faith, just belief in yourself and belief in your own capabilities, is powerful. And if you have enough faith, you can achieve amazing things based on that faith alone.
Faith can be a very powerful thing.
I was talking to another friend, and I was giving him an example. We were having an Akashic field discussion. And this friend of mine, he believes in faith healing. I don't necessarily buy into the entirety of faith healing. I don't believe someone with a bunch of gems and crystals and herbal medications shaking a tambourine over you going, hey, I don't think that's necessarily going to heal somebody. It's ironic, but I don't have a lot of faith in faith healers. There are some very gifted people in this world that have abilities that just amaze science. Science studies these people, and we have no answer for the reasons that they are able to do the things that they are able to do. Well, as you know, Lady Whiteheart, I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. I've been meaning to do this video for a really long time. I want to genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming. And if you would, I'd like you to come back to the show. There's a lot that I feel we didn't get a chance to talk about, and there's a lot more that I feel we could talk about.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak. And if any of our viewers have questions, pose the questions and we can take and see about answering some of those questions at a later date. Thank you very much.
And thanks for joining us on SP channel, guys. And remember, if you like these kinds of videos, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Because look, you are what's important. We do this for you, to make you happy, to make you smile. This is the most important thing for us. We want to brighten your day just by that little bit extra. And if we do that, we have done our job right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Tune in next time.